This is our fifth lecture in our series from Chapter 13, and today we're going to talk about wind energy. Now we're back to this graphic again. We are focusing in right here on wind energy, which is related to hydroelectric in that both of them are caused by differential heating of the atmosphere by the sun. So just like the sun's energy caused water to evaporate and then move up the side of a mountain where it could then be raining back down, wind energy is caused by warm air rising and cool air blowing in to fill its place, which I'll show you in a diagram in a minute. So the uneven heating of the earth creates the winds. What we have is warm air rising and cool, that creates an area of low pressure. We have cold air or cool air descending, creating an area of high pressure, and then the wind blows between the two locations. So as we learned way back in chapter 4 or 5, I think, wind blows from high pressure to low pressure. So if you're looking at the diagram below, that would mean we have wind blowing from this area to this area in the picture. So we can capture that movement of air, that wind, using wind turbines. So the wind then turns the turbine, which creates electricity using the generator. And here's a picture of it here. The blades are the part that are turned by the wind, and these wind turbines always need to spin so they're facing into the wind. There's a motorized drive which uses a little bit of the energy that's generated by the turbine to make sure that wind turbine is always facing the wind to maximize efficiency. Now the gearbox is what transfers the mechanical energy from the spinning blades to the generator, and then the generator converts the mechanical energy into electricity. It's a pretty simple system when you think about it. Quite effective at generating electricity. So the source of energy for wind power, just a quick quiz question to make sure you understand this. The source of energy for wind power is A, the sun, B, the moon, C, the tides, or D, the ocean currents. Go ahead and think about that for as long as you need to. Pause the lecture if you have to. And the correct answer is A, the sun. So just like we talked about, the sun causes the wind to blow. That means the sun is the source of energy for wind power. And this actually, I think, was a question on the AP test at one point. So you might get an easy one on there, you never know. All right, so let's talk about advantages and disadvantages. Advantages of wind energy. So first of all, it's inexpensive. It's also very highly efficient. There's not a lot going on in that wind turbine, not a lot of extra moving parts. It's very simple, very elegant, and given what it's doing, it's able to transfer a large amount of that wind energy into electricity. There are no carbon dioxide emissions from wind energy once the turbines are functional and installed. Of course, the manufacturing process may generate some emissions, but we have to take that into account separately. Another advantage of wind energy is that it does not require any rare earth metals the way the photovoltaic cells do. So we're not going to have to do a lot of extensive mining to create these wind turbines. They are very difficult to manufacture, but doesn't require any mining or strip mining or deforestation, things like that. And experts have estimated that if we were to cover the Midwest with wind farms, that we would have the potential to generate enough energy for the entire United States, which is kind of incredible. Not sure that the farmers in the Midwest really want wind farms covering their fields because it makes it kind of hard to plow, but that is what the experts tell us. All right, so some of the disadvantages of wind energy. The first one would be that the large turbines are noisy. If you've ever been up next to them, there's a huge roar that comes off of these things as they're spinning, and so people tend to have that NIMBY philosophy, not in my backyard. So go ahead and build a wind turbine somewhere, but don't build it anywhere near me. There are also people who object to the way they look. They feel that it ruins the landscape because these have to be pretty tall, and so there's resistance to having them constructed in areas like near residential areas or things like that. Also, wind turbines contribute to an increase in bird deaths, especially migratory birds. The birds are either disoriented, maybe by the electric field that's created, maybe the sound causes them to get confused. Regardless, they've been doing some studies and they find that there are large numbers of birds that do end up flying into these wind turbines and getting killed, especially at night. So this would definitely be a disadvantage. All right, quiz question for you, and I think this is the last thing we have in this lecture. All of the following are benefits of wind energy except A, wind turbines do not emit carbon dioxide once installed. B, wind turbines produce energy at a constant, reliable rate. C, wind turbines are high efficiency. And D, wind turbines are relatively inexpensive to manufacture and install. So go ahead and think about this. Choose what you think is the best answer and pause if you need to. The correct answer is B. Wind turbines produce energy at a constant, reliable rate. Now, the one thing that we've found is that the wind does not always blow. Even in an area where it's supposed to blow 90% of the time, we still have that 10% of the time when the wind's not blowing. It means those wind turbines are not producing any electricity during those periods. So we need to watch out for that as far as determining where is a good idea to build wind turbines and whether the energy that's produced from there is going to be reliable. All right, so as always, if you have any questions, see me in class. Otherwise, have a good day.